Hey, how you doing? I'm Rob. I'm gonna do a live stream every weekday. Welcome. Hit subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Rise up. Resist. Man, trying times, huh? It's an interesting time in America. Nobody expects to live through history, but here we are. Here we are. And do not be mistaken. This is a moment in history. The history books will remember this. The reason I know that is because I listen to historians, and they last week declared the week of the US government leaning into becoming a fascist regime, saying that Donald Trump, this is his authoritarian attempt at a takeover, a coup of the government, uh, tyranny. I don't know how else to put it. Maybe I should just play it for you. Maybe I should just play it for you. Maybe that's what I'll do. Where'd it go? Let's go to history. Here we go.
I identify.
Hold on. Let me just tell you who this is first. This is Heather Cox Richardson. She's on YouTube. She's a student of history, teacher of history, and historian. I love Heather Cox Richardson. I don't support all of her takes, and it took her quite a while to get to, oh, now we're fascists. Like, how many people needed to die? How many Americans needed to die in the street, Heather, for you to go, oh, yeah, Donald Trump's a fascist? He was ignoring the fucking courts last year, you know? It's good that it took you 1 year. But here's the difference between me and a historian. I call it like I see it, and she needs more context. And that's fine. She can be patient with it. I do not disrespect her. We just have a different viewpoint on things. But it's interesting to see, you know, older white women who have spent their lives in history coming around to this conclusion. Again, this is Heather Cox Richardson here on YouTube. I think she does Facebook too, but I don't do that meta stuff. Did you see who Mark Zuckerberg? Still don't know if he's an AI robot. Wasn't he the robot that Elon Musk brought out? And everyone's like, that's a human dancing. And everybody else was like, no, that's Mark Zuckerberg. I've seen that guy. He owns Meta. What a stupid name, Meta. Oh my God. But did you see who Mark Zuckerberg hired? He hired one of Donald Trump's old lackeys to run Meta. So I'm sure Facebook's going to be awesome. Delete your Facebook, folks. Fuck him. So welcome. I'm Rob. I'm going to play you a bit of a historian I listened to. I didn't take a screenshot of her, so she's not going to be in the background. What I will do is show you the latest cover. Wait. If there's any Island Boys here, I don't want to hear from you, okay? So if you support these Island Boys, GFY. That stands for go fuck yourself, okay? Here, we tread where there's inequality. That's what we do here, all right? We tread all over that. But I will put up the latest cover of Slovenia's Objective. I wonder what kind of magazine this is. I've seen this on Reddit and wanted to share it with you. This is a magazine cover from Slovenia. You know, where this dude married that whore. You know Slovenia. You know, that Slovenian in the White House who may or may not have been brought here by Epstein. We don't know. We don't know. We can't read the Epstein files because they're hiding them, right? Remember when they were supposed to release the Epstein files and they didn't? And they have 98% of them, millions and millions of pages, videos, photographs, all that stuff. I wonder why. Maybe his wife's in it with him. We don't know. We just don't know. So all we can do is theorize. Maybe if he wasn't such a fucking liar and just released those things, we wouldn't have to theorize. We could just know. It is kind of sus that he's never sued anyone for calling him a PDF file. He sued a lot of people in his time. That's what he was known for before TV, before some of you Oklahomans. I hate to pick on Oklahoma. They're just the stupidest state in the nation. And they vote red a lot. You know, so we're here. We're here in a fascist authoritarian takeover. So I'm going to keep this picture of Melania's home country, Go Back magazine, putting up a picture of her husband. They really took some liberties with how slim his face is, because he doesn't look like, this swine don't look that thin, okay? This dude's hog wild on Big Macs. If you've seen him lately, you know that's probably where he gets that orange glow from all the fucking Mickey D's grease. But this is Heather Cox Richardson, U.S. historian, declaring we're an authoritarian state. It's up to us, people. No one's coming to save us. It's up to us.
This week as the week that the United States government formally embraced fascism. You reacted to the many things that have happened in the past week, the attack on Venezuela, the threats against Colombia and Cuba and Mexico and Greenland in a different way, along with the shooting of Renee Good in Minnesota. And crucially, as part of that, the attempt of the government to gaslight us all into suggesting that she was an aggressor. And now, of course, we got more troops flooding into Minnesota. What on earth do we want?
Don't forget January 6th, the anniversary of January 6th, which they rewrote the narrative for with taxpayer dollars and put up on the White House website. I threw that in because the gaslighting and the lying and the claiming the narrative at the same time that they're like throwing guns and repressing people, it's all one big bundle of attack.
So I'm not going to play the rest of that, but that is Heather Cox Richardson here on YouTube. I think she's on Facebook too, but I would never tell people to go and give Mark Zuckerberg any kind of data so he can harvest it and sell it to Elon, and who knows what they're doing with it. You know, these creeps, when they get that much money, there's nothing good to come of it. You know, they all hang out at the Epstein Island, right? Elon Musk was planning to go down there. We know Trump is best friends with them, so they're just island boys. Island boys. I want to give a big shout out to Smoke Indica. Great name. Do what he said. Do what his name says, and thank you for saying preach. To all the little maggots that are here, just shush up. Just be quiet. Don't make me play the old game. What's going to trigger the MAGA cult members? I don't like to call them cult members. I like to call them maggots. MAGATS. Maggots. All right? When you support a fascist PDF file taking over America and going after the most vulnerable of American citizens and the fucking people who are protesting and exercising the greatest American fucking freedom we got, you don't get to be called a cult member. You're a fascist. So, do you guys want to play this game? We can, because if the little fascists want to show up, we can guess what's going to trigger them. Epstein files, truth and facts, brown skin, trans athlete, Sesame Street, women's rights. What else triggers maggots? Vaccines, real U.S. history, spelling. That's a good one. So, if you want to play, we can. If not, we can just start getting into some news. What's going on? I am Rob. Welcome to the live stream. I'm here every single weekday. I'm a former addict. I'm an orphan. What else can I tell you? A Marxist, socialist, woke, radical left. You know those big, tough alpha conservatives. By the way, you notice how we haven't had any Proud Boy or neo-Nazi parades lately? It's because they're all working for ICE. You know that, right? It's just like back in the day. If you know your history, the reason why the KKK wore hoods is because during the day they had to be police officers. But you know how, like, these maggots, they all like to watch Joe Rogan take an ice bath because they ain't seen nipples in a while, so they just get off with him. They claim that, you know, they're alphas. But if you say woke radical leftist, they fucking lose their shit. These guys are the most sensitive, egomaniac, victimhood fucking little boys I've ever fucking come into contact with. And I don't come into contact with them too often. You know why? Because most of them are rats. And they hide. So the few MAGAs that I knew, one guy had a whole truck wrapped in Trump stuff. Last time I seen him, guess what? He peeled it all off and spray painted over it. He doesn't want to be associated with this anymore. I wonder why. Ding, 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 ding. Because as soon as you start wearing MAGA around here, everybody goes, oh, you should check his fucking browser history. We know what that guy's up to. Don't let him around the schools. This is a school zone, pal. Get the fuck out of here. All right? Epstein hated Trump. Oh, you wish. Is that how you cope? Is that how you cope? I'm not going to read too many of them. So if that's how you cope, that's hilarious. Epstein actually hated him. They weren't friends at all. Trump really liked him, but Epstein, ooh, no. So we're going to go through some news. I wanted to remind people, just in case you didn't know, there's two types of Trump supporters. There's two types of maggots, okay? The first is billionaires. Those are the real deal Trump supporters. You know, they put the money up and they let the chips fall where they lie. And then there's idiots. Go check your bank account, see which one you are. And if you're going to check your bank accounts right now, just tell you, you're the idiot. Because Don the Trump, Jeffrey Epstein's best friend, helped make billionaires 1.5 trillion richer during his first year in office. I linked the article down below. It's by Americans for Tax Fairness. They got some good articles. Billionaires got a 1.5 trillion richer in Trump's first year. Let's read a little bit of this, okay? Let's read a little bit of this because I want you maggots, because you guys, you love me. I don't know if you think I'm cute or you think you can smell me, because sometimes you go, I bet this guy smells like this. Oh, he looks like this. So I can't tell if you're hitting on me, you know? I know you're a little funny about your own securities as a male, but I just want to remind you maggots that last year you were crying about egg prices. Gas is expensive, sir. Mr. Trump, could you lower egg price? My wife needs one. Oh my goodness. And Donald didn't give a fuck. You know what he did do? He made the richest people in our country even richer. While you and your soy boy farmers down in Arkansas were pleading with him. Hold on, let me get my audio. Let me get my audio. This is why I pulled it, bitches. Let me get my audio. Let me get my audio. Now, this clip I'm going to play for you is a farmer, an Arkansas farmer who farms soy, a literal soy boy, who is crying to Donald Trump saying, sir, you came and said you loved us, sir. I need to see the fruits of that love. Like a goddamn fucking bachelor going to his first strip club thinking that the girls like him. My Christ. To get out and see the world, Arkansas.
Mr. Trump, he looked at me, sir, and he said, I love you. Mr. Trump, I need to see the fruit of love.
You need to see the fruit of Trump's love? I think you can see the fruit of his loom, buddy. Fuck you. Listen to Trump.
That's good. I'm fine. You sound so beautiful and cute. How old are you?
I'm 8.
I need an adult. Dad, there's an old creep on the phone. I need an adult. Yeah. Donald Trump don't care too much for a farmer, but listen, farmer, if you got an 8-year-old daughter, you might get his attention. All right. 22% boost in 2025 lifted total wealth of nation's billionaires. The nation's billionaires. This is the Americans for Tax Fairness article down below. A new study just came out that said the billionaire class, who are not your friends, they own the Democrats and the Republicans. They own both parties. If you're wondering, where are our Democrats right now? Well, I've seen AOC, and I know where Bernie is. But the rest of these motherfuckers are pretty damn quiet, Chuck Schumer. And Hakeem Jeffries, fuck you. You are bought and paid for. APAC, corporations, I don't give a shit what it is. You do nothing, and we need to get rid of you motherfuckers too. Vote them all out. It reminds me of another historian. I played for you Heather Cox Richardson. I love her. I love history. What can I say? That was the only subject I really loved in school. And it reminds me of a different historian that I follow, Tad Stormer, historian of resistance history. Go check him out on YouTube. And he once quoted somebody else saying, when institutions fail, you don't reform them, you replace them. Is everybody paying attention to that? When institutions fail, our current institution has failed. There is no checks and balances. The courts tell Donald to do something, and he goes, what are you going to do about it? He is telling, and J.D. Vance are telling you, his domestic army, boots on the ground, these Nazi SS brown shirt ICE, fuck ICE, these guys have absolute immunity. They do not have to play by the laws of America. That's not American. That's fascism. History lesson, folks. So when the institutions fail, like they are right now, you can't reform it. You just can't, you know? You got to replace them. Get ready for Marxist socialism. When us socialists take over, here's some good things you can look forward to. Free higher education, cost of living, affordability, free healthcare paid for by billionaires, and many more. 3-day work week, fucking guaranteed parental leave. Oh, conservatives, do you really believe that families are important? Erica Kirk, while you're not in your home with your daughters, are you on TV preaching about how important the family, the mom and dad are? Where are the mom and dad? It's interesting because when I watch you do interviews, I go, where are your kids' mom and dad? Where the fuck are they? Oh, they just lived through a tragedy and her mom's whoring herself out on TV and fireworks show with like fucking Bigfoot trucks jumping up to celebrate what? Conservatives, if you truly believe that family values are important, you should all of you, maggots included, you should all be for guaranteed parental leave from the age of birth to the age of 5, paid for either by billionaires taxes, by these trillion-dollar corporations that have so much money, so don't fucking be a bootlicker and be like, no, they shouldn't have to pay for anything. They just need to buy our politicians. I'm so sick of these fucking numbskulls, right? America's filled with them. And just shut up and be obedient. If that's what you're good at, regurgitating what somebody smarter told you, well, not smarter, but somebody wealthier told you, then just shut up. I'm looking for original thought. And socialists, my comrades, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, because when we take over, we are going to guarantee. I don't give a shit what fucking flavor of politics you're in, you get, when you have a kid, from birth till 5 years old, till they go to pre-K. You get those 5 years to spend with your child, and it will be paid for by the billionaires. We're redistributing the wealth, baby. I can't wait. I can't wait. All right. Now let's find out how much Donald Trump made these billionaires. All you little bootlickers. While you were begging for your farms, Donald was like, yo, let me give some handouts to my rich friends. Even as families struggle with unaffordable healthcare, housing, and groceries, billionaires are flourishing in Donald Trump's America. Their total wealth jumped over a fifth. 22%. Did your wealth jump a fifth this past year? No, it didn't, you morons. No one did, except for the billionaire class. Their wealth jumped 22%. Understand that. Over a fifth. 1 in 5. That's what a fifth means, you morons. During 2025, rising from 6.7 trillion to 8.2 trillion. Look at that. Donald Trump cares about somebody. All you got to do is look at where his actions are. What was he doing? Allowing mega mergers, cutting deals, exempting people from trade if they dropped a golden turd on his desk. My Christ, you idiots. Look at what you got us into. Now the rest of us got to save your ass because you're too fucking chicken shit to be like, I was wrong. Like, that's an easy thing to say, Joe Rogan. You could go, I fucked up. You could just, Joe. Hey, Joe. Here's another masshole, Joe. I'm from Mass too, buddy. I know you're from Jersey, but you came to Newton. Joe, it's easy. You go, I'm wrong. I used to have a heart and a soul, and then Peter Palantir Eater came and devoured it, and I just wanted to be friends with the billionaire class. You can easily reject that narrative, Joe, and go back to your old self where you pretended to be a pothead. Remember that when Joe Rogan pretended to be a weed fucking guy? That's adorable. Anyways, Joe, all 3'8" of you. You can say you were wrong, you fucked up. And though none of this affects you, you fucking want nothing to do with it. That's what men do. That's what men do. They admit when they're wrong and they apologize and hope for forgiveness. God, read the Bible once or twice, Joe. Jesus had some good points. According to a new report from Americans for Tax Fairness, the ATF, I think somebody already has those initials, Americans for Tax Fairness. I think ATF is taken. Hate to break it to you, Americans for Tax Fairness. They put in parentheses ATF. And that's adorable, but that shit's taken. Based on Forbes data, the number of billionaires also increased. Donald Trump's making more billionaires, MAGA. While you live in bumfuck Texas, he's making billionaires. What is wrong with you maggots? God, I've never met a stupider group of people that fucking so unaware. Like, understand you're not a billionaire. Understand that. Jesus. Michael, yes, I am in a public library. They keep telling me, shh. And I said, fuck off. I'm doing it live. By the way, MAGA, thank you for lighting up my comments. I appreciate it. 300, 400 people here. I don't know how many people here. But I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the support, MAGA. I know you're sitting here because you need a seed planted in your brain. You need to watch a real man tell you what real men do. That's why you all seeked out Donald Trump. You thought, oh, this is a real man. Look, he treats women horrible. He thinks he can grab them by the pussy, but really what he does is move on them like a bitch and couldn't even get there. Remember that part? Everybody talks about the grabbing part, and everybody forgets he says, I moved like a bitch and couldn't get there. I've never heard a man say that before until him. You understand that, right? And I'm old. I've never heard a man brag by calling himself a bitch, but here he is, your fucking Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein's best friend. This dude is unreal. He goes, I moved on her like a bitch. And you guys were like, wow, so cool. It can tell us you don't get out much. You know, you guys got to get out. Stop gaming so much. Go see people in real life. Good God.
I moved on her like a bitch. I couldn't get there.
I couldn't get there. And that's on tape. And you guys voted for it. Holy shit. Well, I would say you guys could probably relate, right? You were like, oh, I moved like a bitch too, and I didn't get there. That's my man. I'm voting for him. Let me get a shirt of that guy and a hat of that guy and a fucking Dale Earnhardt plate that I can put on the mantle. You guys are fucking simps. Simps! All right, let's get back to the ATF. Not the real one, the tax fairness one. The billionaires increased under Donald Trump from 814 to 935. Have you even said thank you? Thank you, Donald, for growing the billionaire class. And because of a gaping loophole, hold on 1 second. These guys like gaping loopholes. It's possible none of their wealth growth will ever be taxed. MAGA, so you voted for Donald Trump, this guy right here, one of the island boys, right? You voted for island boy number 2 in the fucking docket, because you know he's all over the Epstein files. You voted for island boy number 2, who not only made the billionaire class go from 814 to 935, but they will never be taxed on that money. So when you're talking about, oh, we need bailouts, we need our soy farm saved, and he just gave all those corporations, their C-suite fucking executives and shareholders and BlackRock a bunch of money, and BlackRock salivating to just own your homeland, even though they have all of the land in America anyways, but they just want yours just to fucking clear you out. Just know that whenever you have to move from your fucking home, the reasons the schools, the roads, the police, the fire department, the post office, the fucking infrastructure is all crumbling is because of how you voted, you idiots. Because Donald Trump grew the billionaire class, but they get to keep all the money. And in case you're stupid, nobody needs $1 billion. You couldn't spend it in a lifetime. Look at Elon Musk. That guy's a moron. And he's done nothing good with his money. He just keeps showing off what a moron. Sorry. My mother's passed away, but she used to call them maroons. By the way, to all my comrades out there, I appreciate you dealing with me talking to these maggots for so often. I'm going to continue the news story, but I just wanted to say to all my comrades, to my socialists, to my Marxists, to my anarchist, anarcho-punk, all the different nations, to the Black Panthers, I love you, much respect. Hit subscribe, please. Support the channel. I clearly don't have sponsors. I'm not what corporate media likes to call advertisable, because I want them taxed heavily. And I'll never move from that. The reason I know it works is because in my state, we put a wealth tax in and no kid goes hungry at school. You can get a free bachelor's degree if you don't have one, and a bunch of other amazing shit. It's really amazing once you put a wealth tax in. And the funniest part was all these billionaires and millionaires were like, we're going to leave. And none of them left. None of them. Our millionaire population grew by 39%. We called their bluff. I wanted him to leave. I was like, good, get these fuckers out of here. Okay, back to the ATF story about Donald Trump making billionaires richer. It turns out the members of Billionaires Row at Donald Trump's inauguration were right to celebrate his swearing in, since it meant $1.5 trillion increase in their class's comfort collective fortune, said David Cass, ATF's executive director. Quote, because of the Republican failure to renew premium tax credits, the cost of healthcare has skyrocketed this year for many families. Meanwhile, ordinary Americans cannot afford a decent place to live, and every trip to the supermarket induces sticker shock. We could address the affordability crisis if billionaires paid their fair share of taxes on their wealth growth income. Thankfully, there's a bill in Congress from Senator Ron Wyden, Steve Cohen, Don Baer that would require them to do that. Let's see if it ever happens. I like Ron Wyden, but I don't really believe in this fucking system anymore, man. Oh, Jesus. I don't even want to look at this list. 12-month wealth growth for billionaires. Elon Musk. 73%. His wealth grew 73%. I know nobody in my fucking chat had a 73% wealth growth last year. Jesus Christ. And it's just ridiculous. Larry Page, 67%. Jeff Bezos. Oh, Jeff Bezos, 4.3. I'll clap for that one. Fuck you, Jeff. Sergey Brin, 62. And these are just the worst. This is like the list of the worst people on earth. Rob Walton, Jim Walton, Alice Walton. You know them because they're the heirs, the Walton heirs. Rob, Jim, and Alice. They didn't do anything. Mind you, the Walton heirs, they're the heirs to Walmart. They're the ones who own Walmart. Who, if you've hit subscribe before and the notification bell and joined me, you know I posed the question, do you think the Walton heirs shop at Walmart? Do you think they have any fucking essential basics or whatever the ghetto ass Walmart brand is at their house? Of course they don't. But remember, the Walton heirs, the Walmart heirs, the Walton siblings didn't do anything. They were just born. They were pooped out of their mother's butt, or however billionaires are born, and they were just billionaires. They didn't work for it. They didn't earn it. They inherited it. And then they walk around on their ship, you know, their mega yacht, being like, how come these people want a living wage? It's like, well, you know, come and see how we live. And then Bill Gates was the only one that went 0.3 negative. I gotta think it's got something to do with the Epstein files. Bill Gates in the Epstein files, Donald Trump in the Epstein files, a lot of dudes, Elon Musk in the Epstein file, Elon's brother Kimball in the Epstein file. Release the Epstein files. What are you hiding? We know what you're hiding. Island boy. Island boy. The concentration of wealth reflected in the latest numbers is breathtaking. Not really, because people don't understand it. They don't understand how much money that is. That you could be alive from the dime Jesus was till we are. Never pay taxes, make $100,000 a year, and you would have to do that like 77 fucking times to even get close to $1 billion. So these people just don't understand. It's just abstract numbers to them. There's listen, I know I'm talking to a computer, but here's the truth, computer. MAGA is fucking moronic. They think $1 billion is like $100. They don't have no concept of fucking time and money. They're like goddamn goldfish. I didn't mean to insult goldfish. I'm sorry. Sorry, computer. This is what the future is going to be like, just so you know. You're going to have to be asking the computer if you could leave the home. And if it says no, the chip shuts off in your brain. You fucking drop on the floor. Thanks, Palantir. Jesus. The world's richest man, and in the Epstein files, Elon Musk. He's all over the Epstein. Fuck him. You know what I mean? Oh, what is he? Sad that his dad married his stepsister? You guys know that, right? I like to try to mention that once a live stream. Errol Musk, Elon's dad, married Elon's stepsister. Holy shit. Now you see where the problems start. Elon Musk is now worth over $700 billion. Oh, and he shouldn't be taxed, right, MAGA? Right, MAGA? He shouldn't be taxed on it. Us working people should be carrying that load, right? Right, MAGA? Fucking idiots. The 14th wealthiest billionaires at the beginning of 2026 are worth more than every American billionaire combined from as recently as 2020. Jesus Christ. I love how people were like, I believe Donald Trump loves me. They're like, bro, he wouldn't even shit at your house. Under the current law, the wealth growth of billionaires can escape taxation completely. Oh, what's that current law? The one Donald Trump put in? Even though it's their most important form of income, unless they sell the underlying assets, the current receipts of that growth owe nothing. And when the assets are inherited, those wealth gains simply disappear for tax purposes. Oh God, this is how the Waltons made all their money. Inheritance. You know more billionaires are made by inheritance than any of them earn it? You understand that, right? Okay, as long as we're clear. The billionaires' income tax introduced last year by Senator Ron Wyden and Reps Cohen Baer would annually tax the wealth growth of America's ultra rich. Tax on publicly priced assets like stocks, bonds would be due each year. That on hard appraised assets like businesses and fine arts would still be due only at the profitable sale of an asset, but with the interest charged for the tax-free years. The plan, which would also apply to non-billionaire households, don't worry, that's not you, MAGA. They're talking about millionaires. With over 100 billion in income, 3 consecutive years would raise over 500 billion in revenue in 10 years. 500 billion in revenue. Okay, you worried about healthcare costs? Tax billionaires. Here's the thing: they're not worried about healthcare costs. If they wanted to buy a hospital, they would, and most of them have a hospital wing in their house. Okay? These fucking people, man. Good God. I hate to be your teacher because I'm your vibe coach, but I'll be your teacher. So, what else we got? One-Eye Dollar, what's up? What's up? Good to see you, One-Eye Dollar. I know there's a lot of sensitive MAGAs in the chat. They're always so vocal. MAGA's always like, I'm very bad. You don't know anything. I love the billionaires. You guys are always fucking chirping in the chat like a bunch of little simps. Go do your own live stream. I challenge you. Go do a live stream. See if you can crack 10,000 people like I did. Okay? Go do it with your little hate, fear mongering. Go see if your insecurities will fucking breed like that. Okay? By the way, for the rest of you who are not MAGA, I appreciate you reading these stories. I'm assuming some of you were like, yeah, we know that shit. But I just got to talk down to MAGA. That's the only way they feel at home. You got to remember, Donald Trump said, wait. Don't let me say it. Let's just say he can say it.
Smart people don't like me.
Donald Trump said, smart people don't like me. He was talking down to MAGA because that means stupid people like him. So you gotta speak the MAGA language to get through to them. And that's what I'm trying to do here. You know, I'm trying to crack the code, wake these cult members up. Come on, maggots. Stop worshiping the billionaire class. They're coming to kill you. You understand that, right? They want to poison your water, take your home, poison your air, poison your food. You know, I can't even say some of the things on YouTube, but you should be careful. Look at all these little simps. I bet I could clear this chat out real quick. Hey guys, hey, MAGA incels. Joe Rogan's doing an ice bath on Channel 4. Watch them all leave. They're like, oh shit, I gotta watch this. No homo, no homo. And then I say to him, quiet, piggy. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. We're gonna do the Trump voter challenge, okay? I know there's stuff about Iran happening. I showed you guys this before. You could just look up the key aspects of destabilization of a country. Don't you find it ironic that Donald Trump's in support of protesters in Iran, but the protesters in America, where Iran, I don't believe they have the right to assemble. I don't know if does Iran have the fucking Constitution and the First Amendment? I don't know if they do, but it's weird that Donald Trump's like, oh yeah, I support those protesters. Meanwhile, in America, where we have the Constitution and we have the right for redress of grievances of our government and the right to protest. That's our right. Inalienable from the creator. Was it Tyler, the creator? I don't remember. One of the creators. I don't know if it was hip hop or what, but one of the creators gave us alien rights. Pretty sure they were alien rights, which means, you know, while you're here on Earth, you extol them. So Donald Trump hates American protesters, but loves Iranian ones. Tells you a lot, doesn't it? Tells you a lot. Tells you a lot. I love this cartoon. I love political cartoons. Patriotism is doing exactly what the government says, never asking questions, turning in suspicious family, friends, and neighbors. Message by your Nazi regime department. Look, I can't believe people think this man is serious. His dad married his stepsister. Hold on, hold on. Don't be a useful idiot. I like that. I like that. I like that. I love the people who say Guy is getting Soros money. Oh my god, you guys are hilarious. This is fucking hilarious. You guys see what Billie Eilish was saying? Calls ICE a federally funded terrorist group, which they are. They are. Tear gas peaceful U.S. protesters for a Bible stunt in 2020, incite Jan 6 violence, now cheering chaos abroad. Is the worst. All right, this is what I wanted to do, the Trump voter challenge. Okay? I might have to do a separate live stream for this because I didn't want to do this with the news, you know. I wanted to just do wait, let me see. Yeah, I think. Hold on. No, not start a poll. Hold on, hold on. Do. I thought there was something else I could do. All right. Sorry. But yeah, this is. I thought I could clip it on here, but maybe I was wrong. All right, because you know, there's always MAGA drooling, whether they're Nigerian, Russian, Slovenian. I don't think Slovenia is really Southeast Asian. There's always foreign actors. You know, you see them in the comments. You know, the ones with no avatar, humping for Donald Trump in 2028, where he'll be like 85. You know, he was already the oldest president ever. He already looks like a fucking melted Big Mac sitting on like the windowsill somewhere for way too long. It's got this orange hue that's just very unnatural. So it's not like that guy's, you know, in the best of health. I know some people maybe still believe what the doctors are telling you, but you know, when he was like, what did Donald say about it? He said some shit like, it couldn't be the brain. Like a smart person says that shit. Hold on.
It wasn't the brain because I took a cognitive test and I aced it. I got a perfect mark.
Yo, I'm sorry, but if someone's talking about a dementia test and they go, couldn't be the brain, I got a perfect mark. You know, I'm gonna think that
Your brain's cooked.
that's right, Joe Rogan. Thank you.
Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? And Jeffrey, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you.
All right, MAGA. It's maggots, MAGATS. I saw this and I wanted to post for you the Trump voter challenge. Okay. Number one, you're going to go to work tomorrow and tell a person of color you work with. See, this is the hardest one for me to believe because I don't think many MAGA works with any people of color, but you know, maybe they do. Maybe they do. You're going to go to work tomorrow and you're going to tell a person of color you work with to, quote, go back to where you came from. Number two, you're going to find a coworker with disabilities and you're going to mock them. Number three, you're going to grab a coworker without asking. Number four, you're going to call a less attractive girl or a coworker a horse face and a dog. And number five, we're going to see how long you can make it before you're fired. Because I want you to comprehend that Donald Trump has lived a life of privilege. He used to brag about a gold toilet in the 80s and 90s. I don't know if some of you were old enough to remember that. But he's a Nepo baby. What that means is nepotism. That means all of his wealth was handed down to him. He was gifted his life from his absolutely disgusting father, Fred Trump. And you can listen to his cousin, Mary Trump, explain all of his upbringing. She does it well, and she explains that, you know, he was just a little petty tyrant when he was younger. He was never like some genius or business person, you know? That's why he had fake bone spurs, because he was chicken shit. But you need to understand that these people like Donald Trump, the ones that hang out with Epstein and the cohorts, the traffickers, they don't care for you. I know you'll simp and bootlick for him all day. You'll hump that chat just to fucking say how much you love him. But he doesn't care. And he's going to turn this violence on you too. You are not off the list. You are on this list. Make no mistake, he doesn't know your name, know who you are, care who you voted for, or give a shit about you. That's why I played you the soy boy farmer in Arkansas, saying, Donald Trump, you said you loved us. I need to see the fruits of your love. He doesn't care. He even fucking said it campaigning. Donald Trump said, I don't really care about you, I just need your vote. And now he's showing that full force. But if you don't believe me, just take the Trump, I found this online. Just take the Trump voter challenge. Just see if you can get away with the stuff he does. You know? Now, I would never advocate for anybody to do this, but if you worship the guy, you know, live your life like him. I worship Jesus, so I try to live my life like him. I don't want anyone to have to pay for healthcare. I would like everybody to have food. You know, the shit Jesus did. Loved everybody. Except for the authoritarian regime that he was anti-establishment against. You know Jesus was a socialist who was anti-establishment, correct? Okay. Killed by the cops. Anyways. Here's a great headline. The left is always right, just too early. From slavery and child labor in the 19th century to the Iraq war in Gaza, the left position has been accepted only after horrible human costs. Next time, get that chat on my... Next time, how about listening before the damage is done? We tried to warn you. We try, you know? It's just funny to me that a lot of these maggots last year wanted affordability. Like, they wanted what Mamdani is doing right now. Mamdani in New York, if you don't know, he was making childcare next year free for people. He's saving people. I played the clip of the lady saving one lady's family $36,000 a year in childcare. So it's just funny that when Donald Trump says he'll do affordability, you guys uproarious, right? And then when Mamdani does it, you say New York has fallen. So that leads me to believe you're just racist. Racist piece of shit. That's all. That's it. You don't have any kind of morality, integrity, character, nothing like that. You're just garbage. Just garbage as humans, you know? You just say whatever the hateful mongerer wants you to think. It's really embarrassing. Develop a personality. Try that. I need you to. I need you to. And not like the one you got from Trump. Oh, no, I don't want to read that. Oh, that Dilbert guy died. By the way, if you think Donald Trump even gives a shit about like the 100,000aires, that Dilbert creator, he died. And remember, Donald Trump and Robert F. Kennedy were like, we're going to get you the medication you need for cancer. And then they never did. Donald Trump does not give a rip about you. He doesn't. He likes greed. And that's it. That's literally it. He doesn't even like his kids. I think he wants to hump his daughter, but he doesn't like them. You know, he would never talk to her after. And you guys like cheered that on. Remember? I always thought it was weird. I was like, wow, the party that claims to be of family values is like cheering on the guy who's like, I'd hump my daughter. Like, you guys are fucked. Really, like, severely. This is why I'm all for free therapy, you know, because MAGA needs it. They might need a deprogramming thing first, but after the deprogramming, I think a healthy continuance of therapy would greatly improve their lives. Oh God. Listen, to the stupid people who keep saying my party, I'm a leftist. I don't have a fucking party. There's no left party. I know Donald Trump. I know you get your education from Donald Trump. Let me explain something. There is no socialist in America. Bernie Sanders, Democratic at best, and he's gotten nothing done. He's not a true leftist, okay? I'm kind of feeling like I want a classless, moneyless, stateless society. You know what I mean? Like Jesus described in the Bible, where there was no money, no classes, no state. It was just goodness. You know how Jesus described heaven? You know, you didn't need cash on you. You didn't need pay now, fucking buy now, pay later for your groceries. That's what I'm into. Shit like that. You know why? Because we have enough wealth. But there are other people who are like, no, I think one guy should have all that money and the rest of us should just live a life of suffering, which is adorable. You know, you must not be fun to be around. But there is no left party. I know, here's the secret that me and other leftists and the politicians know that MAGA doesn't. Donald Trump uses those as scare words. Oh, shit. Did I just break that to you? I should not have done that. Because we were all in on it and you guys just didn't know. You guys get very fired up when you hear the radical woke left, right? Oh, heartbeat going up. You guys, no palpitations. Let's calm down. Take a deep breath. It's not a real thing in America. There is no woke radical leftists. I mean, there is, like me. But what do I want? Well, I never want you to have to worry about calling an ambulance and what it will cost you. I don't want you, if you ever have to call an ambulance, go, wait, let's check the price of Uber. I never want that to happen. I want you to, if you want to have kids, go, I'm so looking forward to my guaranteed parental leave for 5 years in raising my children. Because I do believe families are very important, whether they're traditional or non-traditional. I don't give a shit. My family is insanely non-traditional. I was fucking orphaned at a young age, but it's still my family. And if you believe in those kind of values, you would want to guarantee people to raise their children in that most crucial time. And no politician in America, you're telling me any Democrat wants that shit? So let this just be a lesson for you. I know it's kind of hard to hear, but all the politicians and the real leftists know that there's no radical woke left. You know, Jesus didn't come back. He's not fucking healing people for free. You understand, if Jesus came back and started healing people for free, Big Pharma would Luigi him. You know that, right? Like Big Pharma would free Luigi and be like, get that Jesus dude. He's ruining our business model. There is no radical woke left. Donald Trump knows you're fucking stupid. That's why he said smart people don't like me, because he goes, stupid people like me.
Smart people don't like me.
Stupid people do. And he uses that to his advantage. And he tells you the radical left woke mob is coming to destroy America. And what that really means is get very scared. You know, they want to take all your stuff, which isn't true. You think I fucking want to go to the Bible Belt? Fuck that place. I've been there. They have Confederate statues. I like to knock them all over. You think I want to go to the Bible? I want nothing. Trust me. There's nothing more than I want you assholes to keep the South. Okay? I'm good. I like the coasts, but fuck the South. No offense, just good. I'm just good. I'm just good. First time I seen a Confederate statue, I was real young, and I went, what the fuck is that? Why do we have a foreign enemy's statue in our country? This is insane. This is insane. This isn't history. These are traitorous, fucking treasonous people that you're erecting statues for. This is nuts. And I went, no, I could never live down here. Plus, the education's bad, the fucking healthcare system's bad, and people talk weird. You know, I don't know. Just listen. I got a lot of thoughts, but I don't blame any of them. You know, I'm saying this. I'm sharing my feelings with you. I'm opening up. I'm being vulnerable. I'm being a real man. I'm opening up. Because you guys gotta stop being such pussies, man. You gotta stop thinking everyone's out to take your fucking home. I don't give a shit. I don't want many homes. You know who does? Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Mark Zuckerberg. Go look at what he's doing in Hawaii. They want all your land. BlackRock. They want to turn all of your neighborhoods into rental properties. So every few years they can set the algorithms, jump the rates, and you can hardly even pay and eat. And you just have to keep moving around, hoping that one algorithm is going to fucking break through. It's crazy to me that you guys don't see this. And that you think some radical left woke person wants to live where, like, I would never, I don't want your home. It probably smells weird. You know, like, I don't. Everybody's home smells different, man. And I just don't want yours. What I do want is you to have health care. I don't want you to have to stress. Even if you're a shitty parent, you know? Even if you're a horrible fucking parent and you disowned your children because they were different than you. Not what God said. Well, what did God say? God said love everybody and let him figure the shit out. Why are you acting like God? So if you're one of those shitty parents, I even want you to have health care. That's the truth. You know who doesn't? Donald Trump. He's fighting the subsidies that states are now trying to implement. You know who doesn't want health care for you? Every billionaire that I just read about in that got $1 trillion richer. Jesus Christ, they're making trillions, guys. Trillions. In Trump's first year, the billionaires got $1.5 trillion richer. Like, those are the people who don't want your health care or don't want you to have health care. Because if they did, guess what they would do? They would pay their goddamn taxes. And they don't. They all avoid it. But now they don't have to because Donald Trump cut it out for them. He's like, oh, don't worry. Let's not do like let's not do the 3-card Monte anymore, boys. We'll just write a new bill. You know, he did that for them. Understand that. I do want to play this guy for you. This is a good video. It's a good video from a veteran, so listen up.
As a veteran, I don't understand why cops are allowed to be cowards and civilians aren't. Untrained civilians are not going to react to dangerous situations well, so we should expect the trained individuals to, control that situation. I remember in Afghanistan, when I was embedded with my infantry company, I was their medic. We had a situation where a truck was barreling down on us in an area where we had had suicide bombers in trucks before. And we didn't shoot that guy. Instead, we went through all of our SOPs, signaling to him and waving our weapon towards him to try to be like, hey, you keep driving and there are going to be consequences. And then it would have escalated to non-lethal force, attempting to disable the engine block. And then finally, as a last resort, shooting the driver. The guy in charge of that situation was an 18-year-old kid who could barely read. But that was the expectation. He has training, the civilian doesn't. That guy with training needs to do more than the one who doesn't. But apparently not in America. I've been driving for 3 days. I stopped on the side of the highway. I've been coming from Oklahoma back to New York because I don't fly after the helicopter incident. And I just keep seeing these news stories where it's just worse and worse and fucking worse. And I've seen the video, and it's like, oh, no, you'd be thrown in Leavenworth for that. But cops are allowed to just be like, I was scared for my life. I was scared the whole fucking time I was in Afghanistan. Multiple of my convoys were hit by IEDs. We had suicide bombers at the gate of our FOB. We were in combat for weeks at a time. And yet, the barely literate 18-year-olds that I were with had the training not to just pop off every time they got a little scared. Why do we expect civilians to react appropriately to terrifying situations if the guy with the training can't? Humans fight or flight. You should expect that from them when you wave a weapon at them. And if they can't fight you legally and they can't flee from you legally, what the fuck do you think is going to happen? I know these guys get like 40 days of training. That's pathetic. Clearly, you can teach 18-year-olds how to not be trigger-happy dipshits. I mean, not all of them. Leavenworth does have people in it. War crimes clearly happen, and seemingly more so under this new administration. But god fucking damn, if fucking young people can be trained not to be overzealous in a war zone, they sure as shit can be trained not to do that in America, where they're not actually in any fucking danger. And if I haven't made it clear through the autism that I find this entire situation disgusting and horrific, I do. But I'm too fucking tired. As a veteran,
I love that dude. God bless him. Speaking up. It's hard to speak up right now. I understand that. It's hard. Some people might be in very deep red areas. Some people might have family members that are MAGA. But, you know, silence is complicity. Like Martin Luther King Jr. said, you know, it's not the jeers and the words of our enemies that we'll remember, but we'll remember the silence of our friends. It's tough to speak up. It's tough to say, like, what is going on right now is a moment in history, and no one's coming to save us. We have a fascist dictator who has claimed himself president of Venezuela, threatened Greenland, threatened Cuba, now saying he's going to go after Iran. Like, MAGA can't even play like they agree with any of this. They can chirp all they want, but number one, life lesson, don't trust anybody or listen to anybody that loves the Epstein client list, you know, and just don't. Just fucking, you're going to go wrong there, okay? Like Donald Trump's all over that list. He was trafficking girls to fucking Jeff's house, lived next to him, you know, like buying pageants for a reason. Don't trust those people. Those are not good people. They do not care about you. They might care to get close to you, maybe confiscate your children, but, you know, just don't trust them. But it can be tough to speak out. But no one else is going to do it for you. No one. If you stay silent, people are just going to think you're okay with it. I don't know what else to tell you. There are sides right now, and they've been drawn clearly, not by Americans, but by the fascists. I don't even have the picture. I didn't even want to save the picture. Look at Donald Trump's star on the Walk of Hollywood. That should be like that every single day, and then it should be dug up. But did you see, what was it? Here it is. I do have it. Sorry. U.S. Department of Labor. One homeland, one people, one heritage. This is a Nazi slogan. They are drawing the lines in the concrete right now with chalk. Do you understand that? Nobody's safe. And just like, 250 years ago, when we as a people felt threatened by a tyrannical ruler, we spoke out. So I hope more and more people will speak out against this, because I don't know, we got a dictator who wants to rule the world. And we all know last year MAGA was, or the one issue voters were, I'm voting for the peace president. We live in a time of the internet, so you could just look up the tweets, the posts, the images of a vote for Kamala is vote for war, vote for Donald is vote for peace. That turned out to be a lie. But again, most of us knew that. Like, we saw Donald Trump and went, that guy's in the Epstein files. He's a creep to women, and he hates his own family. And his wife hates him, hilariously. She won't even hold his hand. And that guy needs help walking upstairs. Oh, it's funny because it's him. Anybody else, I'd probably have some sympathy, but because it's that tub of shit, that's why it's hilarious. May he have a slippery staircase, right? Here's to a slippery staircase, anybody? But really, this dude is, he's desecrated America. And all who support him are just cowardice Proud Boys, as somebody said in the comments. Oh, I love when Darren comes in. Darren, a loyal follower. I'm just going to take your voice from you. But you're okay with that, Darren, because remember when Donald Trump tried to silence Jimmy Kimmel? You guys love that. You hate free speech. You hate what America stands for. You hate fucking the land of the free. Because if you loved it, you'd be like, you're free to be who you want to be. But you guys can't tolerate that because it's a challenge to your masculinity. That's what Joe Rogan taught you. Stop watching him. And certainly don't watch Tim Pool. He is a bald bitch. I know some of you guys think I'm bald. I wish. Guys, I can't fucking lose my. I got a great head of hair. I don't know what to fucking tell you. You know, it's a fucking curse. I don't know what to do with my hair. I get so many hairstyles. You know, maybe that's why I'm not insecure. But I would implore Tim Pool, if you're watching, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. You just own the baldness, buddy. Own it. There's nothing wrong with it. There's ladies out there that would probably love it. It's the personality they hate. You know, you're bootlicking, simping for Elon Musk and Donald Trump that they despise. You want to know why? Because those guys don't know how to treat women right. So when you take on their persona, that's what they see. And they don't care about your looks. They care about how you act. That's a life lesson from your vibe coach. I am Rob. Please hit subscribe, especially to my comrades out there. And hit the notification bell because I am live all the time. All the time. In your sleep. I know MAGA really, like I haunt them. I haunt them because they show up out of the woodwork. They're like, wong, wong, wong. There's a guy saying tax the wealthy. We gotta go stop him. What was, United Health. Did you guys read this story about United Healthcare? They're doing fraud again. Oh, free Luigi. Saint Luigi. We got to have a Luigi Mangione minute. That's what we got to do soon. We got to catch up. I know there's a judge going to hear if some of the stuff can be thrown out of his case, which hopefully, you know, because the cops fucked up. How do you have all that training? Listen, if anybody else, if the cops treated the cops' job like any other job, they'd all be fired right away. You know, and it's just so funny that cops have unions, but they use their union power to union bust. I know that's some of you aren't even going to get that, but I don't think cops should be allowed to have unions if they're going to fuck up so bad that, you know, if they worked at a regular job, they wouldn't be there for long, you know? But yeah, United Health has refused to hand over key internal records to lawmakers investigating the company's efforts to reduce hospital transfers for nursing home students, according to a letter to the company, the U.S. Senators worldwide, and Elizabeth Warren. And then there's, was this the other article? This might be a different article I was reading. And then there's reports today of them billing for fake Medicare shit. I don't have the article up. We'll talk about it tomorrow then. How about that? Yeah, there we go. Hold on. Magamo. Real unions don't bargain away citizens' rights like police unions. Real unions expand citizen power. Amen. There we go. There's a solidarity organizer. Much love to you. Hit subscribe. Okay, I think you met Putin's quota. You can go and get your rubles now, okay? Razzle dazzle Surge, I appreciate you. Hopefully you hit subscribe, comrade. Appreciate you. Thank you. To the people who say, what if I'm stupid and think I'll be a billionaire one day? Well, that's MAGA. That's MAGA. They all think they're just one day away from being a billionaire. That's why I played you the clip of them crying to Donald Trump, crying.
Mr. Trump, you looked at me, sir, and you said, I love you. Mr. Trump, I need to see the fruit of your love.
You looked at me, sir, and said, I love you. I need to see the fruit of your love. That's an Arkansas soy boy crying to the news, hoping to get Donald Trump's attention because he's about to lose his soy farm. Holy shit. These people are pathetic. And, you know, if I wasn't a leftist, I'd almost say, like, they deserve it but because I'm a leftist and a humanist in general, I believe in Jesus Christ. You don't know about him, but he was this radical fucking leftist. He was so rad. He saw people that were hungry and just fed them. He saw people that were hurt, lame, blind, healed, sick, and he just helped them. He didn't ask if they had like insurance or if they had worked. He didn't care. He was just like, who gives a shit, you know? Heal these people. So if I didn't believe in that stuff, then I'd be like, oh, sucks for you. Maybe vote different next time. But that actually fucking, you know, sucks to hear that that dude's gonna lose all his shit while Donald Trump's absolutely too rich for Earth friends get even richer, you know? And that's what you voted for, MAGA. You voted for the rich to get richer while everybody who's working suffers. And then you voted for a domestic army to overtake the streets of America, which this has not happened before. We were in a moment of history. So act accordingly. All right, I'm Rob. I'm your friendly YouTube vibe coach. I only say that because a lot of these MAGAs have such bad vibes, and I know they just want to get laid. You know, like, let's cut to the chase, guys. You thought being a dick was going to make you look cool, not realizing nobody likes Donald Trump. Like, you fell for the fucking propaganda. And it's time for you guys to develop a personality, and I'm here for that, you know? We can make this world a cool place. I used to go investigate graveyards, like, late at night. I love paranormal shit. And nobody on their gravestone was like, I worked so fucking hard. I voted for Trump, MAGA. You know, like, there's no gravestone that says MAGA. Sorry. It's just the truth. Nobody was like, I just wish I could have licked his boots harder. Like, no, you're going to regret that you didn't fucking have any friends. That's what you're going to do before you die. That's what happens. I don't know. That's my guess. You can guess too. I don't give a shit. It's still a free country until, you know, the domestic brown shirts take us all over. Jesus Christ, rise up. So we need to, you know, just be aware of what's going on. And when the Department of Labor is tweeting out these slogans, it's concerning times, folks. It's concerning times. God, can we get some better bots in here? Like, you guys are the people who keep commenting the same stuff. Like, it's just stupid. This is what I mean. It's like, MAGA, you don't even address the points I'm making. You know, you can't even, like, hey, you know, like, have a conversation about this. Jesus, you know what? For the rest of you, please hit subscribe. We got to get this this broadcast bigger so we could get some better trolls. We're not bots. Then say something intelligent. Your commentary in my live comments is bot behavior. Like, I'm starting to believe, like, I got the worst bots ever. Jesus, man. It's absolutely horrible. I will say it definitely helps the algorithm, all those chats. I love the people who say, you're not worth the time, but they spent, you know, 67 minutes with me commenting at me, hoping I would read it. You guys are adorable sometimes. Sometimes stupid people are just adorable to me. You ever had that happen? Where you see someone so dumb, you know, you're wondering if, you know, they bent over to tie their shoes, they might fall down. And you're just like, Jesus Christ, this is adorable. You don't see that every day. Remember America's Funniest Home Videos, where you could just see the stupidity fucking emanating off the screen, and you were like, oh, something good is about to happen. Sometimes that's how I feel. All right, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Much love. Peace.